This is the new 2023 SEDONA Elite 3200. This particular model is the electric model. As you can see, our electric burners here heating up. We're preheating the roaster, and basically the 2023 model is very similar to the 2020 model. These get updated somewhat every few years, not like the BCs that get updated every year. One of the things you're going to notice different if you've had a SEDONA 3200 electric or even the gas model in the past is it had a different chaff fan on it. We'll zoom back and show you that in a minute. And you can completely control the airflow through the manual dial damper. Now this model has added a governor that allows you to choose to control it either through the manual dial damper or through the air control on the governor. If you're going to use the governor exclusively, you would turn this open so it's open completely, and then you would use this to adjust the airflow. Now I will let you know this, because it's a single phase fan, the governors are not like they are on the better three-phase models like on your BC 8, 15, and 25. You will notice it's significant drop to where it may not even be running at all when it gets down past about 30 or so. But you'll find an area where it's low, medium, and then high. And so it's very similar to the old BC 5s and 3.5s and even the current BC 2 and 1 that has the little governor. And so you can choose to use that. We personally like to turn this up to 100 and completely use the manual dial damper for our airflow. That's what we choose to do ourselves. So as I zoom the camera back, you can see this is the new chaff fan. It's not as heavy duty of a chaff fan as that was on the older SEDONA. So if we're able to, and I haven't checked into that yet, but I will, if we're able to use the older ones and you exclusively plan to use the manual dial damper, we would recommend the older chaff fans and just go this governor. We're not a big fan of that, but that's what the manufacturer decided to do. So we're letting this preheat, and as you can see, it's already up to about the maximum that we would want to preheat it. And so we're going to go ahead and turn off the power for the time being, the manual or the igniter, let it run through its cycle. And you may notice, if you listen closely, you can hear a little bit of rubbing of the drum. So take note of how the video on how to adjust the drum, very simply done with a hex key, a 2.5 hex key, loosening those three set screws that are on the front of the bearing holder, and turning it clockwise to pull the drum away from the front plate, turning it counterclockwise to pull it closer. So keep in mind that this gets very hot when it's being heated, so you may want to use gloves when you do that, but it can be done on the fly while the roaster's on. Another thing to keep in mind, and you'll see the video on this, that if it's pulled too far away, the drum's too far away from the front plate, you may note excessive chaff going into the debris tray or even beams. In that case, you would want to adjust it closer to the front plate. That's really about the only adjustment that's been made between the 2023-2024 model with the governor added and the different chaff fan compared to what was on it before. There may be some minor cosmetic changes, such as the wood knobs that you find right here and maybe another one here or there. But other than that, it's pretty much the same roaster. We're going to let this adjust a little bit. As you can see, the temperature's very hot. This is our largest all-electric roaster. It will roast up to 7 pounds per roast, 4 to maybe even 4.5 roasts per hour. Basically about a 15-minute roast at 7 pounds. So we're going to do a test run today so you can see it running with just 6 pounds. But we're going to let the machine go for a few minutes to even out on its temperature as well. So we'll be right back. The SEDONA Elite will hook up to using Artisan, using a USB cord. And once you install the driver on your PC or your Mac, you can go to configure it by hitting the config button, then going down to machine. And once you get over to the machine, if I can do it right, I'm not real good without a mouse, then you can go down to SEDONA Elite, and there's actually a couple of choices. There's the regular one for the roaster, the 2-in-1, and then the PFX. So the 2-in-1 is the one we want to go connect with. What that means is that there's two temperature controllers on the controller. Then it will ask you, do you want to configure it this way? Then you hit yes. And usually it will bring up the COM port, and you can do a drop down, and you should be able to see the driver, which is a CP2102 USB, and then we click on, and then when we go to hit the on button, it should register, as you can see, with our settings on the roaster, and you're ready to begin using Artisan. And as you can see, our USB is connected directly into the front on the temperature controller, the 2-in-1 temperature controller. And so we're getting ready to do a roast. We're going to let it, we heated it up quite a bit. We're going to let it cool down for a couple minutes, and then we'll do a roast with you.